from here. Mayuresh Joshi is also with us from Angel Broking. Mayuresh, good morning. Your thoughts on banks first. This morning looks like we are in for a good start for stocks like ICICI and SBI.
Morning, Anuj. First of all, a very happy 17th birthday to you, Lata, Sonia, and the entire team. I think I've grown up watching CNBC, so wonderful 17th birthday to you. Coming specifically to banks, yes, I think the policy, again, little disappointing for the street in general, but largely, again, I think if you look at the other parameters that the banking stocks are working with for the better part of the next fiscal year, the capital adequacy has been quite strong for larger banks, whether that be PSU banks like SBI, Bank of Baroda, or the larger private sector banks. I think that would hold them in good stead. You're probably expecting the credit growth to probably taper off just a little bit in the next few months. The expectations are largely built in that credit growth should start picking up in the coming fiscal. What this does to the cost of funds with the cut in CRR, I think that will be beneficial to the banks. And though you've already started seeing some lending cut by a few banks taking place, the cost of deposits coming down as well. So I think there'll be a marginal impact on NIMs and spreads of banks as well. So largely, again, I think I'm optimistic on banks, the larger ones, banks like HDFC Bank from the private space, in my opinion, is something that we still remain bullish upon. From the public side, again, banks like State Bank have done exceedingly well, and hearing the management commentary, I think the emphasis on staying with larger public sector banks still holds good for us.
Okay, two stocks to watch this morning. One of them is Crompton Greaves. It's down almost about 4% as the company has now terminated their deal with Powell Spaco. The stock has already fallen 25% since early November, so there is still some amount of downtick that you can see perhaps. A lot of brokerages have cut their FY18 EPS for the company. And the other one is Divi's Labs, where the US FDA has inspected one of their plants, one of their units in a plant in Vizag. Remember, 70% of the business is generated from that particular plant. No negative observations just yet, but that could be one fear. Sanjeev Bhasin also joins into our discussion. We have Hemant Tukral, who's also with us to give us some F&O ideas. Gentlemen, morning to both of you. Sanjeev, I want to start with you. How do you approach a stock like Crompton Greaves now after the news flow that they terminated that deal with Powell Spaco, and also the earnings have not been very impressive?
Yeah, morning Sonia. Disappointing, this has been one leg after that after the divestment of merging the other arm on the consumption side. This is where the real problem lies, the power division. And despite Europe being in fine fettle, they are unable to go ahead with that sell-off, which is which leads to almost 200 crores of losses on the balance sheet. So I think it's a sell on rallies for this stock. It's a total exit. If you want to be in that side of the business, you would rather be in on the consumption electrical side with stocks like Havells or Voltas. And for us, this side of the division is totally a sell. So look for rallies. Of course, the stock has corrected already in anticipation of the news. We think that any rally or any rise in the stock would be an opportunity to exit. We don't want to be in sectors or stocks where the leverage is still high and where there is paucity of visibility going forward.
Okay, do you have a price at all for the stock, or you just want you just have a sell recommendation?
So Lata, we thought that 75 was the top for this stock. Now it's closing close to 65. It can easily, because of over ownership by some of the foreign institutional investors, even touch levels of 55. So I think it's a sell on any rallies. The market cap is about close to 4,000 crore. You could see that getting hurt by at least a 10% downside further.
Okay, well, the pre-open rates have now settled, and it's settling lower than what the SGX Nifty is indicating. So the Nifty is settling 50 point higher at 8150. Ashwini, if we have an opening at 8150 instead of 8180 or 8190, which the SGX indicated first thing in the morning, then is it a buy? Because then it won't be above yesterday's high.
See, 8180 is your line in the sand. As long as 8180 holds on, you will probably not see follow through. But in case we are able to take out 8180, 8200, then genuine follow through is likely to come in. Let's see. At least the disappointment of the rates not getting cut has been factored in. So for the moment, 8100 still holds on.
Okay. Well, any specific thought on any of the banks, Ashwini?
See, banks may recover because yesterday people went short on banks and today there will be no follow through, etc. But otherwise, I would still go with HDFC rather than any of the other banks, because private banks still are not able to show a whole lot of strength. We need to wait a bit, probably look at NBFCs as a lot of them declined yesterday. So in this pullback, chances are Bajaj Finance, etc. Could do well.
Okay, Sanjeev, your thoughts on NBFCs?
Yeah, so 3 in that order. Bajaj Finance is our top pick. We think it'll withhold through this storm and it'll emerge a sure winner. We have a target of 1,000 by the next 6 months. The second would be Satin Credit Care, a microfinance company where the management has guided that the cash crunch is not affecting the business at all. And third would be HDFC, the mortgage lender, which we think will weather these storms much better than the entire sector. So in that order, Bajaj Finance, HDFC and Satin Credit, these 3 would be our top picks.
Fair point. Hemant Takral is also with us. Hemant, good morning. What's your Nifty trade today, a bullish one?
Yeah, good morning, Lata. I do feel that the range is still the same, that is 8050 to 8200. Everybody has been discussing the same, but I have a feeling that things are slightly changing for Nifty, because I am a big follower of FI stats, and from last 2 days I am at least not seeing the selling in cash, which is a very bright signal for the market. If somehow we can see some follow-up cash buying continuing, I think 82.10 will be taken out. So we are expecting 82.90 to 83.50 coming in next week. So we will be buying on every dip till 8050 is not taken out, because all the data points are pointing out that the range should be broken out on the upside. So I will be particularly bullish. Just one line I would like to add here about Bank Nifty also yesterday. Very interestingly, Bank Nifty closed yet again above that 18,200 mark. It could have easily slipped below 18,000, but it managed again. So I have a feeling that Bank Nifty will not get weak unless until we see a closing below 18,150, which has been the low which it has been continuously testing. So on Bank Nifty front also, I feel that it can test 18,550 to 18,600, which will help Nifty to get out of this range on the upside.
Okay, well, for now, a couple of pockets are looking good. The fertilizer space is seeing some action this morning. So, NFL, RCF, Madras Fertilizers, Chambal Fertilizers, all these stocks are up anywhere between 4 to 9%. So, keep an eye out on them, some volume action there as well. And we continue to see action in the PSU space. So, whether it's the names like Hindustan Copper, you have SAIL that's up 2%. Some of these other names like EIL, Engineers India, all up about 2.5 to 3%. Sanjeev, the sector that has created wealth this year is the oil marketing companies. In fact, today as well, HPCL, BPCL, IOC indicating a positive start, and most are at 52-week highs. Is there any incremental upside do you see in this pocket?
Yeah, surely. So, it's all the PSU stocks which are leading. So, ONGC on the upstream company and in the oil marketing, HP, BP are standout. They fell because of the rise in oil, but we don't see crude crossing 55 in a very big way for the medium term. We think it will be in this range of closer to 47 to 52. That gives comfort for the oil marketing companies. But our biggest call has been Sonia Engineers India, all the way from 150 to 300. We reiterate a bonus buy and a price target of 400. So you should look for any declines to get into this, because this is the best proxy on the OMCs getting cash rich and their expansion in the hydrochem in that sector. And EIL is a prime beneficiary of all the order intake. So that would be our standout performer for a target of 400.
Oh, yes, EIL has been a remarkable outperformer over the last few months. It's almost up 40% or so in last 3 months or so. But let's get some more thoughts. Market's about to open. Ashwini, your top conviction call for this morning?
I would go with Vedanta, because the global markets are doing much better, so metals could do well. This is a buy with a stop of 225, target of 242.
Okay. Well, we have still a minute and a half to go. So, Sanjeev, the mid-caps seem like they will have a better day than the Nifty. Any specific set of stocks or stocks?
Yeah, so EIL, NBCC, Rallies India is being neglected, but we think in the agrochemical that will be an outperformer. And a small company called Trident, it is one of the biggest players in the paper and in the textile market, and it is doing exceedingly well with paper margins being on the strongest in the sector. So we think these stocks can be relative outperformers in the mid-cap space, and we reiterate a buy with NBCC being surely one of the better stocks to be re-rated going forward on the back of huge order inflows which they've recently concluded.
Any auto stocks that you would put some fresh money into now?
Well, Maruti was a scream at 47.50. We reiterate any decline to buy. So Maruti, Bajaj Auto would be our two preferred picks, and in the OEM space, Suprajit Engineering, which is one of the largest players in the cable segment, and that is doing exceedingly well both locally and globally.
Okay. Well, we have about 20 seconds. Hemant, can you take us through one of your stocks? We'll come back again for others.
See, in one of the topics would be in the auto sector. We are buying Hero Motors because of the fresh open interest being added up to the tune of 6%. We feel that stock should be bought for a target of 33.50, keeping a stop loss of 31.85.
Oh wow, that's a photo finish. There goes the bell, and it opens quite comfortably above the 8150 mark. 8162, 8166, 8167, 68 as I speak almost. 68. That's where it appears to be finding the first few seconds of staying power. The Nifty, the Sensex as well is up about 140. That's 0.5% higher. So Nifty is doing better. Some of the Nifty constituents not present in the Sensex need to be watched. The Bank Nifty actually is doing as well as the Nifty. So clearly it has only been a one-day negativity because of the rise in bond yields, which adversely affects them. Otherwise, banks have come unscathed from the policy surprise. The mid-cap index, actually now all the indices are just about equally higher, 0.8% higher on all the indices, Nifty, mid-caps, Bank Nifty and Sensex. So let's take you through the top gainers. It's metals. Tata Steel is leading with the 2% gain. Tata Motors closely following suit, 1.8 higher, Maruti higher. Tata Motors, DVR and stock and Maruti are among the next three gainers, up about 1.7. Adani Ports, there's news in that stock about an acquisition, 1.4 higher. Then come the banks, SBI, IndusInd Bank are both higher by about 1.1. Yes Bank as well has put behind its worries, is up 1.2. Actually, they do have exposures through bond instruments in some of their companies, but no worries in that stock either. Actually, it's only that the Trump impact of I will look at drug stocks and drug prices that's worrying the market. So Sun Pharma marginally down, Reddy's down about 1%. Otherwise, it's 48 on 50 in the green. There's no point reading stocks. People have bought the market. People have bought the Nifty.
Oh yes, and it looks like a very good start for the mid-cap index as well, almost 1% higher, moving step in step with the frontliners. The market breadth is solid today, almost 10:1 in favor of the advances, so looking very good. Once again, the pocket to be in is the PSUs, so you have names like Nalco that are once again surging quite a bit. BEL is up at a new 52-week high over there. Engineers India is at a new 52-week high, up another 2.5%. That stock has gone up 25% since the lows in November. And the space to be in this morning for the trading side is the fertilizers. As I mentioned earlier, Madras Fertilizers up 12.5%, NFL up 10%, RCF up 5%, Chambal up 3.5%. So this space is looking very good. In news reactions, let's take a look at how Divi's laboratory has opened up, because there has been a US FDA inspection of one of its unit in its Vizag plant. And look at that, the stock is now down about 5%, but the stock has actually lost 15% in the last 3 months, so it's already on a downward trajectory, so some more additional losses coming in over there. Crompton Greaves is the other one after terminating its deal with Powell Spaco. That stock has lost now another 6%. So very disappointing for these two stocks. Prestige Estates is the other one. Weak numbers this time. The stock has already lost significantly over the last many days. Now that stock is marginally in the red, down about 0.1%. But let's focus on the gainers, because it's really a day that belongs to the bulls. At least so far, the opening belongs to the bulls. Anuj, 81.80 now, 1% higher. There's been no dip that has given any opportunity just yet, but it's very early moments, but good start to trade.
A good start, and I think the market actually gave that opportunity by, the SGX
starting at 8160.
8160 thereabouts. So some traders might have taken that. The key would be if it sustains above 8180, and I think the Bank Nifty opening is really interesting. It's opened 1% higher. If it takes out say 18,500, which is where the highest call open interest is, then things could get really interesting on the Bank Nifty. But I'll take Ashwini's thoughts first on that. Ashwini, 8180 is right in the zone we've opened there.
See, we opened almost 1% higher, so definitely this is a clear straightaway buy on even on the gap up, both on Nifty as well as Bank Nifty. So now the question is whether we can cross this 8180, 8200 zone. But given the way we have opened, chances are that we should see some follow through.
Okay, well, Sudarshan, what have you made of the first trades? And now do you think that since 8180 is conquered for the moment, you could turn a bull?
No, yeah, I am mildly bullish. So yes, the Nifty is a buying opportunity. You buy at current levels, keep a tight stop loss at 8130, because if the market is going to retreat back, we don't want to be there to find that out. So with a 50-point stop at current levels, the Nifty is a buy, and so is the Bank Nifty.
Okay, Mitesh, first thoughts?
Yeah, I think good setup in the sense that a lot of stocks are breaking out, and I prefer trading more of stocks because that's where the beta is. I think stocks like Godrej Industries, BEML, BEL, I think are clearly showing momentum, and we would want to take long positions there.
Okay, Hemant, any ideas from your end? I mean, the entire metal space is also surging this morning, with Tata Steel being the biggest gainer. Of course, there's fundamental news there, but anything in that space that you like?
Yes, Sonia, the second stock that we recommended today was on the metal pack. See, metal pack continues to show momentum and adds open interest on the long side, especially Vedanta, which added again yesterday 5% on the long side. And 220 put writers are really getting aggressive. So I feel now 225 should act as a very strong bottom, and Vedanta should head towards 240 to 242. So among the metal stocks, we like Vedanta a lot, and we feel the momentum will continue, and it's a good trading pick on the long side.
Well, absolutely. I think it's at a 52-week high now, 234 rupees or something on Vedanta. So that's a metal stock which has been doing very well. I think the annual gain also has been about 150% on that stock. But Nalco, as Anuj has been saying for the longest time, it should have been participating in this rally. It didn't. Its annual rally has only been 80% compared to nearly 200% in Hindalco. And
that's after 3 days of the recent rally.
So actually, I wanted to ask Ashwini that the Nalco chart, can it go much higher? It's a 52-week high now.
It's not an outperformer. It's an also ran. Plus, generally speaking, it is benefiting from a PSU rally. So it may or may not be because of aluminium. So there are better PSUs. I would much rather get into an EIL, etc. If I have to do metals, I'll still go with Hindalco. This has had a fairly sharp move over the last 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
So right now I don't think is the best place to enter.
Okay, well, I know nobody wants to be talking about losers today, but apart from Divi's Labs and Crompton Greaves that are down about 5.5%, you have Polaris that's also down almost about 6% this morning, because that stock is in the news as well. As we told you, the promoter Virtusa Consulting is looking to sell almost 19 lakh shares, or about 1.88% shares via the OFS route. So Polaris is the other stock, and the entire pharma space is reeling under pressure because of what Ekta was telling us earlier. So Divi's is down. Ipca Labs is down 2.5 to 3%. Cadila, Dr. Reddy's all down about 1 to 2%. Sanjeev, any quick thoughts on how to approach names like Divi's? I mean, they've been great wealth creators in the past, but now these stocks are sort of coming off a bit. Do you use it as an opportunity, or would you stay away?
No, we stay away. We think that we need more clarification on what the effect of the FDA news is, as similar what we have seen on Sun Pharma. So we are looking for more domestically cyclical business like Cipla and Dr. Reddy. Dr. Reddy because it has been cleared and absolved of most of the FDA issues, and Cipla for its local presence, which is only gathering strength. So we'd rather stay with these two large caps. And like we said, pharma will not be that big a participant in a bull rally, which is going to be metals and commodity and consumption names. So we'd rather chase some of the consumer stocks and some of the commodities, which will give you better, value for the money.
Okay, one of the other stocks that's surging now is Voltas. It's up about 3.5%. Ashwini, any thoughts on this stock?
Well, Voltas has been under the hammer. So chances are, if the market is getting into some sort of pullback, stuff that got hammered is likely to bounce back quite a bit. Probably you will see 355, 360 on Voltas soon.
All right, gentlemen, we will reach out to you after the market gives us some more trends. At the moment, even the gap up may be bought. That was the message we got from Ashwini. And in fact, Sudarshan also said, I remain a bull, but the stop loss over there is 8130. That was Sudarshan's view. We will come back to you for more stock advice and index advice as the day wears on. But it's a great start to the markets. For once, we are outperformers even in the Asian screen. We have so far not been in that position, but probably because there is a catch-up also to be done. The Indian market's 1% higher now at this stage, 8182.
Yeah, and you know what, if it sustains till 10 a.m., then I think you will see incremental short covering. So that's something to watch out for as well.
Okay, we have our market master for the day, Mahesh Patil, the co-chief investment officer at Birla Sun Life AMC, joins in.